Okay, so let's call this meeting to order. Vice President DiGirolamo, if you will please read the open public meeting statement.
This meeting is called pursuant to the provisions of the Open Public Meetings Law. This meeting of April 3rd, 2018 was included in a notice sent to newspapers of record and posted on the bulletin board in the municipal building and has remained continuously posted as the required notices under the statute. In addition, a copy of this notice has been available to the public and is on file in the office of the municipal clerk.
Thank you. If we can please stand for the invocation and the flag salute.
God, thank you for the gift of life.
I apologize, Councilwoman, if we may. I'd like to have a moment of silence. We had another loss again this week. Tony Pinella, who was with our bond counsel, had passed away. So we may have a moment of silence for Tony. Thank you.
God, thank you for the gift of life, the opportunity to serve the people of our town. Help us act with character and conviction. Help us listen with understanding and goodwill. Guide us to be the leaders our people need. Help us to see humanity and dignity of those who disagree with us and treat all persons, no matter how strong or weak, rich or poor, equally. Renew us with the strength of your presence and the joy of helping to rebuild the community we can all be proud of together. God bless the town of Phillipsburg, the state of New Jersey, and the United States of America. Amen.
Pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
That was beautiful, Councilman. You're welcome. Roll call vote, Vicki.
Council President Fulker.
Here.
Council Vice President DiGirolamo.
Here.
Councilman Davis.
Here.
Councilman Litz.
Here.
Councilman McVeigh.
Here. Okay, before we move forward with the approval of the minutes, is there anyone here from the Domestic Abuse and Sexual Assault Crisis Center? There is not. We do have a proclamation for them. I guess I can read it seated without them here. So for the proclamation, we have, whereas sexual assault is a serious crime that affects people of all ages, races, ethnicities, religions, genders, income levels, and sexual identities. And whereas survivors of sexual assault must deal with the physical injuries, psychological effects, and issues such as post-traumatic stress disorder. And whereas the impact of sexual assault is widespread, affecting the survivor, family, friends, and the community at large. And whereas sexual assault is a seriously underreported crime, often due to shame, victim blaming, lack of access to resources, and whereas it is believed that only 15.8 to 35% of all sexual assaults are reported to the police. Whereas in 2017, the Domestic Abuse and Sexual Assault Crisis Center provided services to more than 100 people who have been affected by sexual violence. And now therefore, I, Bobby Fulper, Council President of the Town of Phillipsburg, in conjunction with the Domestic Abuse and Sexual Assault Crisis Center of Warren County, hereby proclaim April 2018 as Sexual Assault Awareness Month. In Township of Phillipsburg, and urge the residents to work together to raise awareness of this important issue and offer support to those who are affected. Incidents of sexual assault will not be reduced without a concerted effort throughout the community. So, Vicki, if you wouldn't mind handing that over to them. And there will be, from what I understand, they will be placing bows on Main Street. Right? Okay. Excellent. So I'm sure that's something we can all get behind. We can then move forward with the approval of minutes.
So moved.
Second? Discussion.
Second. Did we second?
I did. Yes.
Oh, you did?
Yes.
Okay, sorry.
That's okay.
I didn't hear it.
That's okay. Oh, I apologize. I'll yell. Okay, so we went to discussion. No? No? Okay. Everyone's okay? Is there any comments on the minutes? There seeing none, we can move to a roll call vote, Vicki.
Councilman Litz.
Yes.
Councilman McVeigh?
Yes.
Councilman Davis?
Abstain, I didn't have a chance to review them.
Council Vice President DeGirolamo?
Yes.
Council President Holbrook?
Yes. Councilman, before we voted, if you wanted us to table it, I would.
That's okay.
You sure?
No, yeah, I don't want to hold up the progress just because I didn't have a chance.
Okay. Thank you. Okay. So the bills list, Vicki?
Current fund, $1,164,444.96. State federal grants, $2,454.62. Capital fund, $16,404.02. Sewage utility funds, $249,148.52. Planning board trust fund, $9,336. Section 8, $2,047.57, for a regular bill list of $1,443,845.69. There's no Section 8 rent payments this month, and there is no prepaid bills. So the grand total is $1,443,845.69.
Thank you. So we can move to accept the bill list?
So moved.
I will second. Discussion?
Discussion?
Yes, Councilman Litz?
If we could please hold Bill Landry's bills, there's 4 of them, for roughly $4,000, account number 28017. I'd just like them to be sent to each council member for the next meeting so we can approve them.
That was 20.
28017.
Thank you, Councilman.
I have a question on 72458, Blosky and Associates.
Yes?
This is noted as a professional service through Section 8. Did we hire someone new? Do we know?
Yes, she changed auditors.
Does she have the ability to do that? Typically, professional services come before council for approval, or is that the mayor's discretion?
It's, can I?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, the federal government. She has the right through the
Okay.
HUD program to get approval to take that action.
And you were properly notified, Mayor?
I was.
Okay, thank you.
Okay.
Is that all, Councilwoman?
Yes.
Councilman McVeigh? Oh, sorry, Council Vice.
Sorry, there was one more. 72422, we have JCP&L for recreation. Do we know what buildings that is for?
I personally do not. Mayor
I do
said
not.
he does not know. So if we don't know, we should probably hold off until we find out.
So that is referencing PO 28097. All the others I was fine with. That's all.
Okay. Councilman McVeigh?
28035 Star Dollar Cleaners. That was copied on correspondence going into the mayor's office regarding working out. This has been brought up, I believe, January 1st. We're still trying to work through why we're paying Star Dollar Cleaners. Has there any action been taken from the mayor's office regarding working this out on a prestige estimate?
That would be a question for the mayor, and Mayor, if you wish to answer.
If there were, this was a payment made to Star Dollar Cleaners? Is that what I'm?
I believe what Councilman McVeigh was referring to was that there were estimates brought in from Prestige Cleaners, which is local here in Lopakon, and I guess were they lesser than what we have with Star Dollar, Councilman? Yes.
They're at or below on what we're paying.
They are, okay. And with Star Dollar being the middleman going out the east, and so that's why.
Right. And that I would have to ask Patty Hutz for that. I can't answer that.
Okay, so we will go ahead and, you want to table that, Councilman, until we get a definitive from the mayor, or would you like to pay it?
I just wanted to bring attention to it. I want to know if there was action being taken. We're asking for it, but I'm not asking for it.
So we will go ahead and pay it, and then
Yep.
next month we will,
Yes.
okay. Thank you.
Excuse me, Council President.
I'm finished.
Yes, Councilman.
That's for uniforms for the police department.
Yes, sir.
Here.
That's correct. Yeah, thank you.
You said public works.
Did I?
No, he said he was going to hold.
Oh, okay. Mayor, that's for Chief Stetner. Patty Costa is for...
Yeah, I didn't realize it wasn't DPW, I thought it was DPW. So.
We will look for direction then from Chief Stetner. Councilman Davis, any questions on the bill list?
No, just I need a recollection. In regard to the Bill Mandry invoices, my understanding from a previous question about those invoices that we were a pass-through entity and we didn't have the right to legally hold up invoices that were submitted to us from the planning board.
Right, you can't refuse to pay them because they're paid in escrow.
Okay.
Okay.
Thank you, Councilman.
Is that what you were, well, that's not what I was.
I think he just wanted us to have copies of them so we knew what they were
Yeah, all
looking
right.
for.
Yeah, can you just have copies then?
Excellent. I have none. With that being said, we can move to up. We did have one tabled. We did have one tabled bill. Was the mileage bill? I don't have the number on me. Vicki, do you have that number? I apologize. I don't have it written down.
72279.
72279 in the amount of, I believe it was $234.
Okay.
Are we going to place that back on? Or, I believe we had some questions.
I introduced that, Council President.
Councilman McVeigh?
I was asking the mayor if we, as employee had access to the Durango, why wasn't that used, or why wasn't the gas used, and why we're cutting checks for that much money to an individual?
I investigated the matter, and it has been the norm for employees to use their personal vehicles. However, since you have brought it up, they have now been informed to use the pool car.
Fair enough.
Great. And Mayor, was that for a week's worth of gas, or was it like a month?
I don't know the days they used it.
I would imagine it was probably at least a month. I mean, it's over $200.
Bob Merlo would know. Bob's sending them to class.
Okay. Councilman, do you feel comfortable with that?
I do.
Yeah, these two.
The only one we had was the 28097.
28097
That was
was.
the purchase order number for JCP&L.
So we were going to move as amended by tabling the JCP&L bill and untabling the other one, which is 74422.
72279.
That's what she said. Okay. So move as amended.
Second.
There being no discussion, we can move forward. Vicki, with a roll call?
Councilman Lutz?
Yes.
Councilman McVeigh?
Yes.
Councilman Davis?
Yes.
Council Vice President DeGirolamo?
Yes.
Council President Colbert?
Yes. Okay, public comment on agenda items. So if anyone has a public comment, please move forward.
Joe Miner, 392 South Main Street, Phillipsburg, New Jersey, 2018-05. Please, I'll push the little button as soon as I figure out where it is again. Yeah, there it is. Please table and repair this motion. I'm not repeating myself. I've already criticized it at other meetings. This is additional criticism. It really needs fixing. There are no inspection fees in this motion. The most recent motion, written by Josh Davis and passed, is missing from the code. The code, in effect, refers to a payment code that is missing from the code. Without a fee for every inspection, the cost burden will exceed the required salaries for the 5 additions to the department necessitated by present needs from last presentation and by yearly inspections of all rentals. In other words, you are inspecting for free. You got to fix it. Thank you.
Thank you for your comment, Mr. Meyer. Mr. Amy.
Good evening. Alan Amy, 71 Lewis Street, Phillipsburg, New Jersey, member of the Phillipsburg School Board.
Yes, sir.
Question is on the budget. I understand the original budget presented to the town had a tax cut, which is a welcome sight in this town. However, the existing budget that you are going to vote on tonight has a tax increase, am I correct?
No, sir.
No. I am not correct?
No, sir.
No?
Question answered. Thank you very much.
You're very welcome. It was a tax cut of 1.5.
You said the new employees were cut.
They are. They are. Is there anyone else? Okay, there seeing none, we can move forward with the ordinances for second reading. Ordinance number 2018-05, which was the ordinance of the Town of Phillipsburg, County of Orange, State of New Jersey, deleting Chapter 464 rental property in its entirety and replacing it with a new Chapter 464 rental property. Before we move forward, Mr. Minor did make a very good point. There is a fee schedule that is not attached to this ordinance. In the original ordinance, there was a fee schedule. I am certainly open to tabling this for one more meeting until we can get the fee schedule attached, if the rest of council will oblige.
Yeah, I'm okay. I'd just like to see what we all agreed with Councilman Davis.
I agree. I believe that has been changed. Right, Councilman Davis, correct me if I'm wrong, but that was that they would inspect and pay. They would end up actually paying more. So if a landlord owned a building with 17 units, if the fee was $100 per unit, that would be $1,700 as opposed to the $100 for the one building, correct?
The revision that I proposed was that it would be a per inspection fee, so correct? So every inspection would incur a cost of approximately $100.
Right.
Or whatever fee schedule. But I don't believe that we took any legislative action to create a fee schedule. Because we had, if I recall correctly, said that we would take that up in separate action.
Okay, so we can actually pass this then this evening and then move forward with a fee schedule.
That, yeah, that would be, yeah, I'm not sure what the codification is. I'd have to consult the counselor, but my understanding was we would pass it this evening and then amend it in accordance with that discussion.
The imposition of fees is going to have to be done by way of
Ordinance, yeah. Oh.
Okay, I'm certainly okay with that.
Because if I do remember, we had to research where that fee was located in the code.
Correct.
Yeah.
Excellent, thank you. So then, a question asked and answered, and we will have it in place.
There was a registration fee which is independent of the inspections.
We have taken away the registration fee and implemented Councilman Davis's suggestion with the inspection fee. It ends up costing, it does more of a service for the town of Phillipsburg.
$135 and the registration was $50.
To Mr. Minor's point, it was missing somehow from the code from last year. The fee schedule and the registration fee were removed in the latest instantiation of the ordinance, which was passed in August of 2017. I'm not sure why the website, the eCode 360, was not updated, but I can tell you almost definitively those were the amendments that I had proposed and were passed.
Excellent. Okay, so we can move forward. I will motion for this ordinance. If I can get a second.
Second.
Any discussion? No. So because this would be the second reading, if we don't have discussion, I do have to open it up to the floor. There seeing none, we can proceed with a roll call vote. Vicki?
Councilman Lewis?
Yes.
Councilman McVeigh?
Yes.
Councilman Davis?
Yes.
Council Vice President DeGarmo?
Yes.
Council President Holder?
Yes. Excellent, motion carries. So we do have no ordinances at this time for our first reading, so we will move forward with new business. We do have a few items of new business, and then I can move to the individual council and see what they have. We have 2018-06, which was vetoed by the mayor. Was that the veto date, May 28, 2018? Ordinance of the Town of Phillipsburg. Several days after. Okay. Ordinance of the Town of Phillipsburg, County of Orange, State of New Jersey, amending Chapter 67, Vehicles and Traffic, Section 28, Parking Lots of the Code of the Town of Phillipsburg. I would like to request a motion to override the veto.
This constitutes 4 votes.
Yes, 2/3 of the council, so we need 4 votes to override each veto. I need a motion first. I will motion.
Second.
So, discussion? No, roll call.
No, the only discussion I had was I did originally vote yes. After running by the lot again, because if you recall, I had concerns about the number of reserve spots. I'm still amenable to the number of placards, but I think that we need to reduce the number of reserve spots on second thought. So my vote for the third passage will be no.
Thank you, Councilman.
Thanks.
We can roll call vote, Vicki?
Is there public in it?
No.
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 Councilman Lutz,
Yes.
Councilman McVeigh,
Yes.
Councilman Davis,
No.
Council Vice President DeGirolamo,
Yes.
Council President Colbert.
Yes. Motion carries. 2018-06 has been successfully vetoed. The veto's been overridden. It was successfully vetoed though originally.
That's true.
Right? Ordinance number 2018-07, also vetoed by the mayor, same date. An ordinance of the town of Phillipsburg, county of Orange, state of New Jersey, amending chapter 67, vehicles and traffic, section 28, parking lots, the code of the town of Phillipsburg, in order to delete the subsection of I entitled municipal lots, payment required. I will motion as well.
So moved.
Roll call vote, Vicki?
Well,
Second.
second. Clear,
This-
so I think the council president made the motion. Councilman Lutz, you want to second that?
He did.
Well, he always says.
Oh, okay, I'm sorry. My apologies.
We know.
I know what you meant, Councilman.
Do I have to say second next time?
No.
No, you're right.
Now that I know you.
No. And is there discussion for these amongst council? Any Excellent. Roll call vote, Vicki.
Councilman Lutz,
Yes?
Councilman McVeigh,
Yes.
Councilman Davis,
Yes.
Council Vice President DeGirolamo,
Yes.
Council President Colbert.
Yes. Ordinance number 2018-07 has been successfully overridden. The last is 2018-08, also vetoed by the mayor. An ordinance repealing Chapter 53 Ethics Code of and replaced with a new Chapter 53, the Municipal Ethics Board of the Code of the Town of Phillipsburg, New Jersey. I will motion to override.
Second.
Discussion?
Yeah, I'd like to say something if I may.
Yes, sir.
I'm going to vote yes on this. I voted no before, but I'm getting sick and tired of I'm going to say it, my wife is going to scream at me, but the bullshit that's going on in town. It's just, we have to work together. We're not getting anything done, and if this helps it, then let's go for it. But we have to do something. The town has to move on. We've been here, 4 months, and nothing seems to be moving. Yes, we're passing stuff, we're doing stuff, but nothing seems to be going forward. So I'm going to say yes.
Thank you, Councilman. Further discussion? There being none, roll call vote, Vicki.
Councilman Lutz,
Yes.
Councilman McVeigh,
Yes.
Councilman Davis,
No.
Council Vice President DeGirolamo,
Yes.
Council President Colbert.
Yes.
Got something done.
Ordinance number 2018-08 has been successfully overridden. Moving forward is, I do see the Cobble Beachfront property lease as well. Would you like me to read that? Do I have that in mind? That they were just notifying us that they were terminating the lease with the town of Phillipsburg. Do we need to move to accept? We do, okay. I will move to accept the Cobble.
Second.
Folks, if we can just keep it down, please. Thank you. Councilman Lutz seconds the beachfront property lease being revoked. Will they terminate it? So, discussion.
What does that actually mean? We can't, that's our property, but we can't climb the steps anymore, the people can't climb the steps?
No, it's cobbled.
It's Collins property.
Yeah,
Right, so
well, we built the steps and everything.
Right. So there was issues regarding the mayor, I don't want to speak for the mayor, but there was issues preceding the mayor,
Right.
prior administration, and we had discussions with the insurance.
I wish you guys were talking to the mic to themselves.
And fall of 2017, we had a discussion, But this is the economic sense for the town to continue this lease already. So,
Okay,
this is the simplest way.
good enough, thank you very much.
Great. I will go ahead and move to accept. Oh, excellent, we already accepted it, how about that? Councilman Lutz, do you have anything to?
We got to do
Oh, we have to
the
vote.
discussion.
I asked him, he didn't want to do it. All right, we can go ahead and roll call vote, Vicki.
Councilman Lutz?
Yes.
Councilman McVeigh?
Yes.
Councilman Davis?
Yes.
Council Vice President DeGirolamo?
Yes.
Council President Wolfer?
Yes. Okay, then we can ask Councilman Lutz if he has any new business.
I don't see any business.
Oh, because we started on this.
Oh, okay, I'm sorry. All right. Sorry, I didn't see new business. So.
Oh, that's okay.
A couple things.
Yes, sir.
I'd like, wait a minute, I have a lot written down. I'd like to, one second. I would like a vote for the town attorney on behalf of the council to send a letter to the prosecutor's office to have Eric Feingold, whatever, in the way that he's buying houses in Phillipsburg.
I would have to concur and echo the sentiment of Councilman Lutz. I do believe that Mr. Einholz's business practices do require an investigation, and hopefully I would not want to pass judgment until I see the results of the investigation. Is there a consensus on the letter? Is everyone okay with that?
I'm fine.
Yes.
Councilman,
Yes.
what do you want to do, a roll call vote, Vicki?
Councilman Lutz?
Yes.
Councilman McVeigh?
Yes.
Councilman Davis?
Based on the gentleman's name appearing in debate on specific legislation, I think that it's a foolish thing for us to do that, so no.
Council Vice President DeGirolamo?
Yes.
Council President Wolfer?
Absolutely, yes.
Okay, second, I would like the town attorney on behalf of the council to send a letter send a letter to the Attorney General's office in reference to selling the property of Ingersoll Rand to Opus from the town of Phillipsburg. The reason why, I think every resident should make sure that it's okay for what they did and how they sold it for $2.5 million, and it was just in the paper for $43 million. Something doesn't jive to me there. So if the Attorney General accepts it and looks into it, that's great. If he doesn't, well, I tried. At least the citizens will have a clear thought, clear mind on it. So I make a motion on that.
I'll second that.
Councilman Davis beat me to it, so we will roll call vote, Vicki.
Councilman Lutz?
Yes.
Councilman McVeigh?
Yes.
Councilman Davis?
Yes.
Council Vice President DeGirolamo?
Yes.
Council President Wolfer?
Yes.
And I have one more right now.
Yes, sir.
The last 2 weekends, I was working the bunny train,
Yes, sir.
and I'd like to give my proceeds to Animal Control Officer. And it's $500. I'd like to spend for blankets, for treats, or whatever for the animals.
That's awesome, Councilman Lutz. Very awesome.
If you want to do that, or I was going to do that on it doesn't matter, I'll do it right now. I'll do it now. We have a co-op with New Brunswick, hopefully we'll have a co-op with New Brunswick to help us with the cost of buying new meters for South Main Street. And I would like to bring that up to work session, and if the mayor doesn't mind, they can have the people up for work session to have their speech for the co-op. Thank you. That's all I have.
Excellent. We don't need to vote on that, right?
No.
Okay. Council Vice President DiGirolamo.
The only question I had was, it was brought to our attention, there was a special event held at Walters Park this weekend, and reading the code, it looks like all special event applications come before council, and I don't recall anything coming before council in the last 90 days.
Do you mind if I ask what the special event was?
I believe it was an egg hunt at Walters Park.
I thought it was at a high school. Was there?
No, there was another one. I don't know the details. Somebody just said, how does this happen? And I said, I don't know anything about it.
Interesting.
The high school is on the board property, so that wouldn't come to us.
Okay. That I don't have an answer for you, Council Vice President. I would look to the mayor. Do you have an answer?
No, I don't. It's something that they must have just arrived and had an egg hunt. Unless the town clerk saw any kind of paperwork past the desk, I have no knowledge.
Vicki?
Excellent. Well, Mayor, we will get the information then over to you after I get it from Council Vice President DiGirolamo.
I'll send the details.
Please.
Thank you.
Thank you. That's all.
Councilman McVeigh?
I'm good.
All right. Councilman Davis?
I'm also good, thank you.
Excellent. I just had one item under new business. I spoke with Councilman Mark Lutz last week, I believe it was. Councilman Lutz had called me, and we had discussed the animal control officer. And I believe he had spoken with the mayor subsequently to that conversation. And forgive me, Michelle, because I know that you had taken a test and had passed your certification exam. I just don't remember the title. Do you mind shouting it out for me?
Animal cruelty investigator.
Excellent. So Michelle has taken a test and is now a certified animal cruelty investigator. Congratulations. I think that's excellent, and I believe, in our opinion, that it merited a raise. And Councilman, did you want to discuss that under new business?
Well, I was going to discuss that under after the budget was passed.
Okay.
But if you want to do it now, I'd just like to amend the budget to give the animal control officer $10,000 raise from $24,600 to $34,600.
I would absolutely concur and second that as well. She works 7 days a week. She's called out in all hours of the night. And as of right now, we are paying her $24,000. When we did the wage comparison and looked around, there were either those who were outsourcing or those who were paying much more. So.
You know, I just make a point about the budget. I'm going to talk about, I believe I misheard adopting the budget tonight, but we're not, we have to have the public hearing.
That's correct.
Okay, so that's not happening tonight, that's happening on 19th?
Correct.
Okay, so.
17.
17?
17.
Yeah.
Okay. The resolution to amend the budget, I spoke with the auditor, and that should also occur on that night as well.
So we will go ahead and move then to do that on the 17th?
Correct.
Okay.
It's removed from the consent agenda.
Absolutely. Councilman, thank you. So Michelle, there's good news for you. Congratulations again, and thank you for all of your hard work. I absolutely will, yes. You're welcome. Okay, under the consent agenda, is there any item that anyone would like removed from the consent agenda?
I would like 2018-73.
A resolution of the Town of Phillipsburg, County of Orange, State of New Jersey, authorizing the award of a contract to Jewel Computing Solutions.
Yes.
Okay. Anyone else?
2018-71 as well, because I believe we do need to postpone it.
Excellent, Councilman, thank you. I'm stealing everything I was going to do tonight. Copying all of them. Okay. Any other? Okay, so with the exception of 2018-71, a resolution to amend the budget, and Resolution 2018-73, a resolution of the Town of Phillipsburg, County of Warren, State of New Jersey, authorizing the award of a contract to Jewel Computing Solutions, we have a consent agenda. All those in favor, do I have to read all of these? Okay, thank God. A motion to adopt the consent agenda as amended.
So moved.
Second.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
All right, we'll do a roll call.
Councilman Lutz?
Yes?
Councilman McVeigh?
Yes.
Councilman Davis?
Yes.
Council Vice President DeGirolamo?
Yes.
Council President Polk?
Yes. So with that being said, 2018-71, a resolution to amend the budget, we have already discussed the fact that it should be tabled until the next meeting. I will go ahead and move to table 2018-71.
Second.
Discussion. Roll call vote, Vicki.
Councilman Lutz?
Yes.
Councilman McVeigh?
Yes.
Councilman Davis?
Yes.
Council Vice President DeGirolamo?
Yes.
Council President Polk?
Yes. Okay, and resolution number 2018-73, a resolution of the Town of Phillipsburg, County of Warren, State of New Jersey, authorizing the award of a contract to Jewel Computing Solutions. Council Vice President, you have the floor.
Did we get three? Yeah.
Procedure, we should do a motion in a second.
So moved.
Second. Discussion, Council Vice President.
Yes. Did we get three bids on this? I know it's professional services, but I'm happy to see it's somebody local, but I'd just like to make sure we did get bids on this.
We did get, I did see two.
There was at least one other that
There
we saw?
was, it was for a different suite.
Okay.
However, I can tell you this, having working in this business, I was surprised at how low Jewel Computing Solutions came in. As a matter of fact, I almost feel that they're losing money on this contract, but I'm very thankful for the contract as I had seen it. Had you have gone through my company, which you couldn't, by the way, I'm just saying, you would have seen a much larger price tag associated with, and for everything that Mr. Jewel is doing, coupled with the fact that he is a local business, and I do believe in supporting Phillipsburg businesses, I would be very much in favor of this.
Absolutely. I know he's even matched competitive bids. I just wanted to make sure we did have that competitive bid process take place for the public's benefit. That's all.
Excellent. Thank you, Council Vice President. Is there any other discussion?
Yeah, did we just do request bids from individual companies, or did we do a request for a proposal?
We actually just called a few companies to come in, and it started out small, and then it kind of got larger because they had to migrate and other things.
Correct. So I'm sure, Councilman, you're familiar with what's entailed with the managed services?
Yeah.
Yes. So, of course, with Jeff Jewell, he is local, and his response time would be phenomenal. And I do understand if you do want to go out and take a look at other businesses, I am not opposed to that. I would certainly appease you by doing that. However, I don't believe that we will find this as low as we have it.
Yeah, I don't disagree with you, Council President. I think just from a transparency standpoint, especially with your expertise in these type of specifications, it would behoove us to have a formal RFP to allow multiple bids to come in and be present before the council before we voted on such a contract.
How much time do we have here?
I'm not sure,
This would be for the budget?
we're having, well, not necessarily, but
No.
we're having problems with our current
Okay.
server, and we may lose.
That is correct. So we do, okay, so we are under some type of time constraint. Would it be okay, and I agree with the transparency, Councilman. So what's happening here is, I don't know if you've noticed, but we are running out of space in our mailboxes. You saw the email that I had sent out. So we're running out of space, and currently there is no retention policy, there's no litigation hold. So if I were to delete my email today, after 7 days, it's no longer recoverable. If we were to go with Dual Computing Solutions with a hosted Exchange server, with Office 365 and the Datto SaaS backup, we would have, I believe it's a year's worth of backups with email and litigation hold, which is a 7-year hold. I'm a little worried because I've already had to have it increased once. I don't delete anything because of that reason. Because if I get an Oprah request tomorrow, because we are in government, I don't feel we should be deleting anything. But if I have an Oprah request tomorrow, in a matter of 3 months' time, I've already had to have it increased. So I don't think that we can get an RFP turned around so quickly. I'm already encroaching 70% now as is. I'm certainly open to suggestion. I mean, if this is something you want to do, I won't fight you on it.
Yeah, I'm just trying to, and Counselor, you can guide me. There's a threshold at $17,500 or something, but I can't remember what it is under the local budget law.
Correct. That's for the department about to bid unless there's an exception to that requirement, which is falls under because of proprietary, computer software and maintenance of, support and maintenance of that software.
So this would not have to.
Correct. It's one of the exclusions.
Sorry, it's one of the exclusions, yes.
Thank you, Counselor.
You're welcome.
Do we have a dollar amount of the other contract and the entity who submitted it, just so we can submit that to the record?
I believe so. Vicki, you don't happen to have that on you by chance, do you?
It was $8,000, but
With a lesser, and it wasn't managed services, so it was $8,000 just for the G Suite. You're familiar with the Google Suite?
Yeah. And it was for 34 email addresses. We have 52 email addresses. So as we started looking at the problems that we were having with the emails, we found that we had more because some of the things go to the website, the other emails that we didn't include in the system, and we didn't realize was that. And he's also from Pennsylvania.
But his business is here in Phillipsburg.
No, not Jewel, the other one.
Oh, right, the competitor, okay, is from Pennsylvania.
But he didn't have as much lifetime and only had 30 gigs of storage, where we have 100 gigs of storage per email.
Right. And I mean, I am all for this contract after seeing it. Did you see the contract, Councilman?
Yeah, I just didn't have any apples to apples to compare to, just to make sure we had done the bidding process on a fair playing field.
I'm certainly not opposed. If you'd like to table it for a week, I'm okay with that. I mean,
Sounds like an emergency, though. I assume this was for additional services, not to replace existing emergency?
This is to come in and manage the municipal buildings, servers, workstations, and Jeff will make sure that we are properly patched, that our firewall is actively working.
I read it, I just didn't realize.
Right, so it's very encompassing, and it's something that I believe that the municipal government in Phillipsburg has been lacking for quite some time. Right, I almost feel like we're moving into the future, as funny as that sounds, because it's 2018. So, you okay with that, Councilman?
Sure.
Okay.
And it's 24/7.
That is 24/7, yes.
Council President?
Yes, sir.
I just want to thank you for your subject matter expertise in this. We're lucky to have you on this one. And what little comment you said, and 90% of it going over most of our heads, I do appreciate it.
Except for Mr. Morissette's, because I believe he works in the same business.
There you go.
So, okay, with that being said, I will motion to accept we motioned already, so what to say?
No, you got a motion in a second.
I just need a
You
roll
are good. Folks, this is why we have him. You realize that, right? Okay, so we will go ahead and roll call vote. Vicki?
Councilman Lutz?
Yes.
Councilman McVeigh?
Yes.
Councilman Davis?
Yes.
Council Vice President DeGirolamo?
Yes.
Council President Polk?
Yes. Yeah, we did motion to table 71. Yes.
Yeah.
That's why you have me. See that? Okay, so we can move forward to old business, which was the 7279 mileage reimbursement we had already untabled and paid. And then we had the resolution 2018-58, resolution approving a junk dealer's license for the year 2018.
I'll make a motion to approve it.
Untable.
We need on table
Oh,
first.
untable.
I'll second that. There you go. Roll call vote, Vicki, if there's no discussion.
Councilman Lutz?
Yes.
Councilman McVeigh?
Yes.
Councilman Davis?
Yes.
Council Vice President DeGirolamo?
Yes.
Council President Polk?
Yes. Now
Now I'll
that-
make a motion to accept it.
I will second. No discussion? Roll call vote?
Councilman Lutz?
Yes.
Councilman McVeigh?
Yes.
Councilman Davis?
Yes.
Council Vice President DeGirolamo?
Yes.
Council President Polk?
Yes. The next on our list was we had received a planning board letter, a letter from the planning board, President Kent Corcoran, regarding the LMR property at 660 South Main Street. Council Vice President DeGirolamo, did you want to enlighten us on a little bit further into what President Corcoran's issue was with regard to LMR?
Did anybody have questions with the
Just for the
letter?
crowd.
That, so, they've been cited. They're looking for permission to operate, basically. It's not currently a permitted use because it's in a redevelopment zone. It's in the, I want to say 6-3 zone for redevelopment, which does not allow the business that they are operating to exist. So they asked for an exception and it was denied by the planning board. So now they're coming back before the council to ask for an exception to be written into the redevelopment plan to allow that business use to happen. In short.
Okay. With that being said, I would like to make a motion then to deny them, not deny LMR. I'm actually in favor of LMR. I'd like to send it back to Stan for revisions. Is that what I'm doing?
Well, I'm not sure what you're doing just yet, but.
Well, we'll get to that.
So just so everyone's clear, the LMR came into the council 45 days, 55 days ago, and requested that the redevelopment plan be amended. Right? When you're in a redevelopment area, you can't give a variance to a use. There's no use variances, right? It's what the permitted uses are in the plan. There are certain waivers that can be granted for bulk area requirements, set aside setbacks, that sort of thing. But not for,
Is that power line?
no, but not for the use itself. So per the NLUL, municipal land use law, those requests as it relates to a redevelopment plan are referred to the planning board for a report to be conducted. That was what has happened 55 days ago. The council referred to the planning board this request. The planning board considered it, issued a report opining that the proposed amendment is not in the best interest of the master plan and is in conflict with the redevelopment plan. Now, per the MLUL, the council is free to accept, reject, or modify the planning board's recommendation. So, and the council is the one that sets the redevelopment plan via ordinance. So if the council is inclined to go ahead and allow the proposed use presented by LMR to exist and be carried on in the redevelopment area, it can do so. And if you want to do that, then I would recommend referring it to Stan in his office to prepare the appropriate ordinance for consideration by the council.
That's what I'd like to do.
Accept, reject, or?
Modify. So I will
So we're modifying. Repeat that.
We are sending it back to the town engineer to
Right, so,
legalese.
so the simplest, if you were asking for a motion, the motion would be to refer to the town engineer and his planner, the LMR request for the drafting of the appropriate ordinance and revision to the redevelopment plan.
That's correct. I know it is because you said it.
So that's the motion.
I will make that motion, and I do so because they're a business, they're invested, and they run a clean business. I was down there, I visited the property, I had spoken with Councilman Lutz. I don't think there's a reason to deny them, quite frankly. There's no reason we should be denying businesses into the town of Phillipsburg. I don't know if anybody has taken a drive through Phillipsburg lately, but we're certainly not over inundated with businesses. So that's my discussion. I'm fully in support of making that motion.
I'm in favor of that motion too, because I spoke to the owner, and he's going to invest $500,000. He's going to clean up Carl's Alder Glass. He's going to put in a building for Carl's Alder Glass. He's going to do a lot down there for the town of Phillipsburg. And where his dumpsters are, they're hidden. They're hidden from South Main Street. And I know he doesn't have any dumpsters down there with garbage overnight. I know that. He just has his canisters. If there's a dumpster down there, it's just roofing or something like that. It's nothing that's going to smell. I met the man. It was funny. I met the man. I was back there because the mayor told me what was going on, so I took a ride back. It's just about dusk. And I go to pull out, and all of a sudden this garbage truck is heading right for me. He dead stops that close to my car. And I explained who I was and stuff. And he got kind of upset, but he turned out to be a very nice person, very nice man. And if he's going to help the town of Phillipsburg in any way, I don't think we should be turning him down.
Well said, Councilman. Is there any other discussion?
Yes, Council President, I do, but I think it might be more appropriate to discuss in executive session because I think it might have some contractual or deliberative elements. I'm wondering if we could make a motion to adjourn to executive session for 5 to 10 minutes to lay that out.
I'm okay with that, Councilman. I will second Councilman Davis's motion to adjourn into executive session. For,
It would be very brief.
sure. So we will go ahead and adjourn for the time being for 5 to 10 minutes, and I believe that we need a vote. A roll call vote, Vicki?
Councilman Lutz?
Yes.
Councilman McVeigh?
Yes.
Councilman Davis?
Yes.
Council Vice President DeGarmo?
Yes.
Council President Holbrook?
Yes. Okay, so we do. Just so everyone is clear that we are coming out with the purpose of taking action.
You know what we're talking about?
I don't want to. Because I have four. Because that's me.
Roll call vote, Vicki?
Councilman Lutz?
Yes.
Councilman McVeigh?
Yes.
Councilman Davis?
Yes.
Council Vice President DeGarmo?
Yes.
Council President Holbrook?
Yes.
So there was a motion on the table to refer to the town engineer and the planner, a request to draft an ordinance amending their redevelopment plan to incorporate the uses proposed by LMR.
Discussion.
I have no further discussion. We will go ahead and vote. Roll call vote, Vicki?
Councilman Lutz?
Yes.
Councilman McVeigh?
Yes.
Councilman Davis?
Yes.
Council Vice President DeGarmo?
Yes.
Council President Holbrook?
Yes. Okay, the next is the ad hoc committee. I guess we would just like to set up a date when everyone is available in May for the ad hoc committee. Is everyone available by chance? If I may take a look here at the calendar. Thursday, May 5th, I'm sorry, wrong. Thursday, May 3rd? Okay. Are you not available?
No.
You're okay.
Clerks conference.
What? All right. When does the clerks conference start, Beck?
The first.
The 1st. Okay, so the following week, we have a work session on the 8th. How about Wednesday the 9th? Are you available then? Council Vice President?
Yes.
Councilman Lutz?
Yes.
Councilman McVeigh?
Yes, I should say.
Councilman Davis?
I don't know, to be honest, off the top of my head.
Tentatively, we can schedule?
Sure.
Okay. I'd like to go ahead and tentatively schedule a meeting for the ad hoc committee on Wednesday, May 9th. Vicki, if we can advertise for this meeting, I would need I imagine we would need a vote for this to go ahead and approve. I'll motion.
Second.
Discussion? There being none, roll call.
Councilman Lutz?
Yes.
Councilman McVeigh?
Yes.
Councilman Davis?
Abstain.
Council Vice President DeGirolamo?
Yes.
Council President Holbrook?
Yes. Okay, if there is no more old business,
I have some.
you do.
Yeah.
Councilman Lutz.
During budget time, we agreed to outsource the code enforcement. Where are we with that?
Once the budget is approved, we will begin looking for candidates. I believe that the mayor, with it being personnel related, correct me if I'm wrong, council, but this would be something that the mayor would also... Yes, the mayor would negotiate the contract.
Okay.
I do have several names for him that I could give that came out of Raritan Township, where they had generated revenue for Raritan Township. I believe it was $26,000 in a 2 months' time, and scared off a lot of the absentee landlords. So the word got around quick. They rectified the issue. This gentleman, and I will send you his information.
Please.
Anything further, Council?
I don't know if I should bring this up now or...
Now.
You have the floor.
I would like us to see what it would take to change the land use board back to the zoning board and planning board. The reason why that I feel is because I know the former mayor changed it, so I guess he could have more power. And if you look now, it's basically all Democrats right now. I feel that there should be a fluctuation between the zoning board and planning board, so there's equal amount of people like it was before. And that's what I like to see what it was going to take.
So you'd be talking about effectively dissolving the land use board, and then we would be recreating the planning board.
Right, like it was in the 90s and whatever.
In the early 2000s, yes?
2000.
Yes.
Yeah.
Council, you'll investigate that for us? Okay, excellent.
And I know the town bought the kiosk machine at the railroad lot, at Notos lot. And the UEZ bought their kiosk for the Riverside. I would like to see the kiosk machine move down to Market Street location as soon as possible and mark the lot. I calculated that we lost $4,500 on the train, the bunny train this time, because we only had 2 people to park in the railroad lot the whole 2 weekends. We only had 2 people. So that machine didn't do anything, and it's worthless sitting there. So I guess, do we have the power to do that since we, as council, approved it, or what do we do?
Well, I remember back when we first started discussions, the mayor had said that he was open to moving the transit lot kiosk to Market Street. Mayor, does that still hold true?
Yeah, but first I'd like to make a correction. The rear, I think you mean the transit lot, Mark.
Oh, the transit lot,
The
I'm
railroad
sorry.
lot was full. We are waiting for determination from New Jersey Transit about the lot, as you know, Council President. But again, I have no problems whatsoever with moving it back to Market Street. The only thing with Market Street is the police will tell you it is a very dangerous area when there's a lot of children in there in Polar Express, and we worry a lot about someone getting hit.
Do they park back there now?
That lot was filled every train ride.
Are you thinking about not letting them park back there?
Well, there's times when the police officers do block it off when it's too busy with young children. They're excited, they're running to the Polar Express, the bunny train. Once that lot fulfills and cars try to pull in, there's no way to turn around. We have a gentleman right here in the second row who knows the story in that area. It's very dangerous. So I think we need to look at that lot on a larger scale. Then, again, I'm not against putting the kiosk there. It would eliminate all the meters, 50 meters, whatever it is, but I think it needs to be looked at by the PD as a safety issue, Councilman Woods. And then move ahead, but one step at a time.
So, Council, do we have the right to, well, we do have the right to amend the ordinance and move the kiosk? So what I would then do is to await Chief Stetner's word, Councilman Lutz, I believe it would be the polite thing to do until the next council meeting. We would give Chief Stetner, I want to say Councilman Stetner, what does that bring back memories? If we await word from Chief Stetner within a 2-week time frame at the next council meeting, we will go ahead and vote to amend the ordinance and move the kiosk.
That's all I have, thank you.
Thank you, Councilman. Council Vice President.
I have nothing for old business.
Councilman McVeigh.
I'm good, thank you.
Councilman Davis.
Good, thanks.
I am good as well. We can move forward to the mayor and administrator reports. Mayor, do you have a report to give this evening?
Council President, 329, I did the State of the Town at Phillipsburg High School. It's on the website, it's on Facebook page. Please take some time to take a look at it. Everything I know, the public would know.
Thank you, Mayor. Okay, we can move forward to public petitions. So this is the time when the public can speak. What I do ask is that you, again, and I'm going to caution the crowd one time. I ask for civility on both sides. If someone says something that you disagree with, we don't boo, we don't scream, we don't yell. You may clap if you agree, regardless of the opposing side. I'm okay, it doesn't matter. I'd rather promote a positive environment as opposed to a negative environment. Okay, so I would ask that. If not, we do have a police officer in the back of the room, and he would gladly escort you to your vehicle. So again, please, just some civility. Thank you.
I'm Mike Hickle from Spursville, New Jersey, and I'd like to thank the council and the mayor for getting this parking thing a little bit further down the road. If I need to apologize for being a little annoyed last week, I apologize. But what I'd like to ask for now is, in the interest of safety, which we just talked about, is a set of steps from the parking lot down over that grassy knoll to the boat launch. As it is now, as the parking is set up, you have to come down over that knoll to get down to the boat launch, or walk all the way around the road to get to the launch. I'd like to see if you would take that under consideration.
Mayor, this would be your department.
Council President, Mike, could you do that for me one more time? There's a set of steps at the boat launch?
No, he'd like a set.
No,
you would like a set of steps.
A set of steps there, like in the middle of the lot, to get down to the access road, to access the boat launch.
Over the grassy knoll.
over the grassy knoll.
Now I'm with you. That doesn't seem like a big
There's been
lift.
more than a few people that have come over that, a wet dew morning or,
Yes,
you know,
yes.
a rainy day, and they went down, and thank
It
goodness
gets-
nobody really got seriously
It
hurt.
gets very greasy when it rains. If you would be kind enough someday, we talk enough where you could tell me to meet you down there, I'll talk to DPW and see what we could do.
Okay, another question I would have would be with the permits. Do you have any time frame for when they might be available in print form?
I know I'm looking to purchase.
Right, April 9th is the effective date the ordinance takes place and goes into effect. So, are we able to rush order those placards?
I can find a place.
We will actively seek a place to print them and get them in time for your usage.
You do have the names and the numbers of people that,
I have some. They're calling droves.
I have a lot of emails.
I'm sure you do.
Yes, sir, I do. I'll tell you what.
I have a lot of emails, I have a lot of phone calls, I have the same thing going on.
I tell you what, I was very, very taken back and overwhelmed. I gotta tell you, you guys are a very tight bunch. You should be commended, so.
We're bringing more to the town, we really are. We just got a big sponsor coming, you know, for this contest, and we hope to get more, so.
Well, we'd like to see you here, so thank you so much.
Okay, thank you.
You're very welcome, Mr. Hinkle.
I'm Joe Miner, I live at 394 South Main Street in Phillipsburg, New Jersey. The next meeting of the present committee will be at 394 South Main Street on Sunday, April 15th, from 1:45 to 3 p.m. It's open to the public. If you attend, you are a member. Once again, April 15th, 394 South Main Street, that's Sunday, 1:45 to 3 p.m. The agenda is homesteading, roommating, and rent control. If you have a plan, bring it in writing.
Thank you, Joe. Mr. Amy.
Alan Amy, 71 Lewis Street, Phillipsburg. One, I want to commend the council on providing parking space for the shad fishermen and other river fishermen too, because it definitely, without a doubt, brings huge amount of revenue to local businesses. Now, my other question is this, it's a simple yes or no. Do you have a definitive plan for the revitalization of this town? Just yes or no?
Yes, sir.
Madam Vice President, do you have a plan?
Personally, or does the town have one?
Does the town have one?
Because it falls under the redevelopment plan, so yes. That's currently adopted, there's one under revision.
Okay.
It's being presented, Mayor, correct me, in April, they're looking to present?
That is correct.
Yes, they're looking to present it in April. It's coming
Please
from the
come.
town engineer.
Well, then I'm in agreement with Mark here, Councilman Woods. It is about time that this council does its job and get this town started into bringing it back to its heyday. Thank you very much.
Mr. Amy, thank you very much for your comment.
My name is David Peruso. I'm from Easton. I'm also one of the fishermen. And I can vouch for Mike about the slipping down the bank there. It happened to myself a couple of years ago. The grass gets wet that night there. I came down there, my feet went out from underneath me. I went down and whacked the back of my head. And I actually laid there for a while. You know, saw stars.
You didn't sue us, right?
No, not yet.
Okay.
Yeah, but I was fishing last Saturday. I split the cost with a friend. You know, we did catch some shad, but it was kind of sad to see that there was hardly any fishermen around. Normally, on a day like last Saturday, there would have been quite a few boats out there. And I know there's nothing that can be done this year about maybe any type of shad festival for the town, like hosting. But, you know, you have a town farther down on the river there, Lambertville, that has a shad festival every year. You know, people flock to that town. They don't come there because they want to eat shad. You know, they just come there because they're looking for something to do. And right now, like, you have a big shad contest in this town here. You know, it's the largest in the country, I would say. And because of the hard work of Eric Fissler and guys like Mike Hinkle, it's grown from 20 guys 7 years ago to close to 700 last year. So, I mean, for the life of me, I can't figure out why Phillipsburg and Easton doesn't have festivals on that Saturday and Sunday at the end of the tournament. You know, I mean, you take a look at Easton, they got a festival for every kind of spice they got in their cabinet home. I mean, here, and same with Phillipsburg, and you have the Pork Roll Festival, and you're looking to have more festivals to bring people into town. I mean, you can come down there to the overlook by the boat ramp. You can stand there and like watch people catch shad right out there. The weigh station is there. You can watch people weigh in shad. I really think like if you were to promote it, that you could have a lot of people coming to your town just to see this festival. So it's something to think about maybe in the upcoming years there.
I like that idea, thank you.
Last year, the winning fish was actually caught right out there between the bridges, and the guy came and waded in Saturday afternoon. So I mean, and it's pretty exciting there. Now this year, last year the first prize was $10,000. This year it's at least that, and it could be $15,000. So I just want to give you something to think about for the future.
Thank you, sir. Council Vice President.
Yeah, can I just ask a question? So are you saying presently you come to that event and leave and go elsewhere, but you would stay and entertain people that came in to support all of you down there?
Well, I mean, I myself, I'm one of the fishermen. I mean, my typical day starts at 4 o'clock in the morning.
So you're tired and go home?
No, my day starts at 4 o'clock in the morning. We're out in the water till 6 o'clock, 7 o'clock at night.
Okay.
And at the end of that, we usually go up to Jimmy's Hot Dog and eat supper.
Perfect.
You know, so like, I mean, I myself probably spent a couple $100 last spring because of Jimmy's Hot Dog. You know, I mean, you can ask Sophia. I mean, we all show up there.
Okay.
Excellent.
You know, so we do like patronize the people down there.
Well, if your car gets hit in the parking lot, JDT Collision's right behind it, okay?
Yeah, that's good to know.
You're welcome. Have a very good day, sir. Thank you. Mr. Clark, how are you?
I'm good. Yourself?
Doing well, thank you.
Lee Clark, 341 Heckman Street.
Yes, sir.
I'm enjoying the positive environment tonight. It's always a good thing for our town. So I just wanted to get up here and share some more positive news. As we know, Governor Murphy has recently submitted a list to the Federal Treasury Department, recommendations for 75 municipalities in the state of New Jersey for opportunity zones. These would be municipalities that will be receiving tax incentives to bring in new businesses, to create jobs and redevelopment in the town. So this is always a great thing. As some of y'all may know, that Phillipsburg was added and recommended on this list, the only municipality from Warren County to be added to this list of 75. So I think that is great. And I just wanted to thank the mayor and his administration for leveraging his relationship with Governor Murphy and using his connections to lobby on our behalf, because this is really going to mean something great for us going down the road, because now we can use this to attract more businesses, more jobs, and it's going to mean great things for all of us going down the road. Thank you.
Mr. Lee, thank you for your comment. I mean, Mr. Clark, I'm sorry. I almost called you by your first name. I apologize.
It's Bill Timmon, 230 South Main Street. I have a couple questions.
Yes, sir.
Or statements. We're being sued by various people, employees, not council people, but other people. I think that's kind of a foolish thing for people in town to sue the town. You know, you're getting two people to fight over the same box of grapes. I think that needs to be somehow altered if that could be possible. Number two, maybe this is time to bring it up, consolidation. Get the towns locally to cut costs, bring Stewartsville, Lopat, Pohat, Harmony into one group, something like they have a joint venture up in Slate Belt and what have you. As far as those steps, that sounds like a good project for the youth corps. And it would take it off the burden of the town's taxpayers and the DPW. And how come the town is not on the list of towns enforcing the law on texting? The only town listed in Warren County, we're not listed in any of the towns in Warren County to enforce the new push on people texting while driving. That was on 1015 today. You can go through that and look. There's only one town listed, and we are not one of those towns.
Council President, as if I may.
Yes, you may.
I'm sure Council McVeigh would know this. As you come across the toll bridge and into Phillipsburg, there's a large sign that texting is illegal and subject to fine. I think it's a state law. It would be 39, somewhere in there. I don't know how a town code would piggyback onto the state motor vehicle law. I think.
No, apparently there's a push on, because it was on, if you look at 1015 for today.
Well, something to approach.
Yeah, they made something like $15,000 last year in fines. The towns that supported it. And needless to say, there's an awful lot of people that don't use Bluetooth or text while they're driving. And you've got to be blind not to see it and not enforce it. That's it. Thank you.
Council President, if I may.
Yes, Mayor.
Two things.
Yes.
I was just at a Municipal Alliance gathering in Trenton. Lieutenant Governor Sheila Oliver is pushing for a regional shared services initiative. In other words, Washington, Phillipsburg, sharing DAs and sharing tax assessors, of that nature, sharing code inspectors. And the initiative is that they will pick up some of the salaries. So they are looking at a larger area. The number of school superintendents in 565 municipalities is staggering. So there will be incentives to pay for employees that are in towns that have a regional shared service. We have a great shared service with Alpha, probably the best in the county, but they're looking to expand it to cut down on administrative costs. The other thing is the steps. We do have a plan that Van Cleef Engineering drew up, Mr. Hinkle, and that is to create an amphitheater on that grassy knoll coming from the high lot down Riverside Drive for people to sit and eat lunch and look out over the river, or if there's entertainment on the patio where the river is. So it wouldn't just be a pair of steps, it would be an amphitheater type of, sort of like Walters Park and the pavilion now.
Subject to not washing out.
Washing out. There's storm drains out.
Mr. Timmon, thank you for your comment. Mayor, thank you for your answer. Ms. Davis.
Ann Davis, 222 Lewis Street, and thank Mr. Thompson for letting me go first, although you may regret it now.
Always a gentleman.
Just a quick, can anything be done about every night between like 6 and 7:30 at night, Monday through Friday, on Columbus Avenue from Center Street to Thomas Street in the Red Hawk Wrestling? I know I mentioned it to the mayor a few weeks ago. He said he had also gotten other complaints about it. The parking is horrible over there. Mostly Pennsy cars. They're parking all under the signs that say no parking anytime. They're parking right up to the corners. I've almost been in 2 head-on collisions, one with a fire truck going to the hospital when the alarm was going off, and almost T-boned 3 times. And this is all just in the last like month and a half. It's awful. I would call the chief myself, but we know that won't do any good. So, I mean, I have called the police. I've actually sat there and watched twice. Some cars rode right by and kept on going, didn't even stop. I did call a 3rd time. The officer did go in, cars were moved, but it's bad. There's going to be a bad accident there, and it's every single night. Anywhere from 2 to 6, 7, 8 cars all parked on that whole side of Columbus Avenue. They're literally down to 1 lane.
I will defer to Councilman McVeigh, who's the liaison for the Phillipsburg Police Department.
I've seen it too. I met a friend of mine who I work with, a colleague who lives in South Plainfield that drives all the way up here Ford, so drive up from South Plainfield to visit the Red Hawk. You know, that's the kind of situation you got up there. So There is another thing we have for Chief Stetner, which we discussed about 30 minutes ago. I just added it to the list. I'll brief with him. The sergeant's in the room right now. I'm sure they'll go back and the word will get out, and we'll discuss what we have, because blind spots are obviously where your accidents are going to occur, and you're up there right by the school area as well. So with the warmer weather, kids are going to be jaywalking, and that's what's going to happen.
It's just
So
they're right up on it.
you don't have a line. You don't have a line of sight.
Yeah.
Enforcement does wonders for a lot of things, such as
Tickets generate revenue, and you're not gonna change the climate until you start sending messages that meters aren't gonna be tolerated anymore. I mean,
we'll have a
sorry,
discussion.
Easton did it, so we can do it too.
Councilman McVeigh, on your list to speak with Chief Stetner about, would you mind adding the parking lot property across from the methadone clinic? It's in the morning when the children are walking to school. It's a very dangerous intersection, and we seem to have a lot of business. Good for the methadone clinic, bad for the children.
Got it.
Thank you. Sir, you most certainly may.
All right, thank you. Rick Thompson, Pat Shapiro Campground, Myrtle Beach, South Carolina. That house is for sale. All right, because I retired last June, I made a mistake. After 2 weeks being down there, I already missed everything I did in my life, which was teaching and coaching. And I understand there's a position that's open for Phillipsburg as a part-time recreation director. And I think I have a little expertise in recreation and teaching. But I don't have my title as health and physical education, not recreation. But I looked at the application type thing, it says maybe recreation type. I don't have that. But I do have a lot of experience, starting way back when I worked for Bobby Mantoni and Sonny Anthony for Phillipsburg Waters Park when I was in college. And I was also in college, I was the head man at Harper's Hollis Golf Club, running the swimming pool there. I saw those are some of the things that you need for this position. Background, I was also certified as a lifeguard and all that stuff. I'm not anymore. But I also taught for 35 years to high school kids, and many of you are here. And looking good. And then the last 5 years, I taught kindergarten from 4th grade in Bangor, Pennsylvania, by myself with 525 kids, ranging kids that are autistic kids, handicapped kids, and obviously the people that we all basically know. I do what I do. And I love what I do. And I see you need somebody. And I also know the baseball season is starting. Should have started already, practice at least, but I know the weather's not. And you don't have anybody for the job. And so I have my resume, I turned the resume in here, but I never got a phone call about the position. So I'm waiting, if there's somebody that's being hired, that's fine. I'm letting you know that I'm here. And if you want me, I'll be here. But if you don't, let me know. Because I'll take my house back off the sale. But I want to move back here. All right, this is where I grew up. Started on 588 Green Street in the projects. And I did well because of people like you. And you got to have a work ethic. And if you don't have that, you're not going to be successful in anything. So I really liked how the meeting went today. It was professional. When I saw Brody speak on Thursday at the Meet the Town, I was professional. And that's what we need, is professional guidance and leadership. So I'm offering my services. Years ago, I used to say, you know, knock on the door, you want a job? That's how you find a job. So I'm telling you I'm here. If you want me, fine. If you don't, just let me know. I'm a man. I've heard no a lot. All right? But I also like to succeed. All right? And I've done that myself. I'm also applying for a job at Warren Hills. I'm interviewing for the head wrestling coaching job on Thursday. But I'll let you know that I want to come back.
Mr. Thompson, did you bring your resume with you?
Yeah, it is there.
May I see it? Do you mind? I mean, I don't think that I would need it, quite frankly.
I didn't send a cover letter.
No, I don't need a cover letter. I already know who you are. You gave me detention. I'm not going to lie to you.
It could have been worse. I could have had more practice.
Very, very true.
Council President, if I may.
Mayor Ellis, please.
3 applications were received in my office. 2 returned, not qualified, and Mr. Thompson's was kept behind for further discussion.
Are you closer, Mayor, to making a hire?
I am after I confer with council, of course.
Okay, excellent. And Mr. Thompson's is the only one you have left?
This is the one that's left on my desk.
Did you speak as well? I know that I referred Eden Tarpey to you as well.
We have spoken to Ed Tarpey. He sent his resume just last week.
Excellent. Okay. Because I know that we've had an active pool reaching out, and I've sent them all to you, so.
Yes.
Okay.
2 are remaining.
Do you need this?
I have it.
All right.
And I've got it.
Mr. Thompson, may I keep this?
Sure.
Will you sign it for me or put it on my wall? All right. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, everybody. Thank you.
Mr. Gleason.
Emil Brisson, 94 Bowman Street, Phillipsburg. A few meetings ago, there was a mention about trying to get an improved system. I don't know what to call it, loudspeaker system, whatever. And I just want to comment that I usually sit towards the back of the room. I happen to think that this system works okay, as long as people turn on their microphones and lean into the microphone and speak into the microphone. When people do that, I can hear people in the back of the room. So I just want to share that and let you know that I think that this works out okay.
Thank you, Mr. Brisson. I appreciate that. Just so you know, part of the electronic equipment that we were looking at was also recording equipment as well. And I believe these microphones and the sound system will work as well. We're just looking for the recording portion that would upload. But thank you very much for your comment. Hi, Trace.
Hello.
How are you?
I'm here on behalf of my grandfather.
Name and address.
Tracy Bunch Road, 201 Mercer Street. I was seeing what was going on with the RCN project for getting my grandfather a roof. He's a World War II Navy vet, and his roof's falling apart, and he wants to stay home, and he don't want to be in a nursing home, and the roof just needs to get fixed.
I did speak with you 2 days ago, yes. I had forwarded your request immediately over to Mayor Ellis, so I will defer to him if he'll be willing to answer at this point in time.
I will. I have met with the Bundros a while ago. I am aware of the situation with the roof. There's about $100,000 left in the RCA program. That was the regional contribution agreement. That was Bernardsville. That was Mount Laurel, Alamucci. We're more than, we don't want the money sitting in the account. It's worthless sitting in the account. And we know there's homes that need to be refurbished, and that's what it's for. The problem we ran into, and I'll apologize to you, someone has to drive the bus. It wasn't as easy as writing you a check for whatever the roof was. We have to take a code inspector, which we're kind of light on, and he has to draw plans for the roof. You need plans for the roof. And once that's done, then you would send it out to bid, and we would take the lowest bidder as long as he met the plan specifications, and you could go ahead with the roof. The most I can say right now is I will endeavor to the best of my ability to get Paul Smith to write a set of plans up for your roof. And then it's a matter of seeing Bob Merlo. He cuts a check on the low bid vendor. It was just a matter of so much to do and so few people. But I am fully aware. Come up this week. We'll go down the code together and see if we can.
All right, thank you.
Twist his arm.
Thank you.
Mayor, thank you. Tracy, thank you for your comment.
Good evening, Council. My name is Rob Collantrell. I live at 2 Merrill Court, Phillipsburg, New Jersey. Just want to thank you all tonight for welcoming again businesses to the town of Phillipsburg. When I paid off $120,000 in back taxes on that property and sold the property the way it is, people looked at me and said, "Dude, you're crazy. Why are you touching that property?" And it was due to the fact that I felt it was in the right location for my business, and it's nice to hear that Phillipsburg's open for business again. And I hope you all continue to work together to put aside your differences and do what's best for the town of Phillipsburg. And Tracy, as for your grandfather, if it gets approved and he needs a roof, I will definitely donate that dumpster for whatever the roof is for a World War
Mr. Collinsville, thank you very much. You're the kind of guy we'd like to keep right here in Phillipsburg. Thank you. Any other comment? Ms. Paulus.
Liz Follis, 26A Glen Avenue. At the last meeting, I had addressed the mayor about him not responding to my emails. He told me that he would respond the next day. I'm still waiting.
May I respond, Council President?
Yes, sir.
The next day I went to Town Clerk Victoria Kleiner. I think she'll vouch for that. She provided the OPA request for me, which I forwarded to Council Winter. Council Winter ruled on it for me, and Council, correct me if I'm wrong, but you felt it was overly burdensome. It would have. Go ahead.
That's not what I'm referring to. I said the emails, not the OPA request.
Well, the OPA request I received from the town clerk was about emails.
Yes, but I've been emailing you several times. I think I started February 13th, inquiring as to the status of the town hall meetings. And you responded that you would set a date by the end of the week. I reminded you that Friday, February 16th, that you had not responded. As well as after that, I emailed you probably 2 or 3 other times about scheduling a meeting with myself, Mr. Wenner, and my attorney, because you're not responding to my request. Now, you did respond to a Facebook post that I made.
I did.
On Saturday night,
Right.
where you slandered me. So, and then deleted everything. So I want to make this record of what you did.
My pleasure.
Because I will take action.
You have the right to do that.
Mayor.
I know.
My
Mayor.
apologies, Council President.
Thank you.
As well as I do have some evidence that I would like to submit to the ad hoc committee for your investigation of the hiring process.
There we go.
So,
Ms. Paulus, would you mind holding on to that document until the ad hoc committee meeting?
no, that's fine.
If that would be okay, that would probably be the best route to take, especially at the meeting.
Not a problem.
Thank you.
But again, I'd like to know why I'm not getting responses to my emails.
If we go through a series of emails every single day, there are so many emails, it's hard to describe. They're prioritized and given to me. The ones I can address. The ones I can't address are given to the appropriate agencies. When you brought it to my attention the next day, as I said, again, I went right to the town clerk and asked for your emails.
You're
which
confusing
I
it
received.
with my OPA request.
I understand we're talking apples
Which
and
I've
oranges.
never faxed an OPA request to the town of Phillipsburg, that you accused me of doing.
No, I didn't say
Yeah.
the town of Phillipsburg. I'm
Yes, you
sorry.
did. You did. So, what I'm asking for is a response to my emails requesting a status of the town hall meetings that you said that you were going to have.
We are.
As well as having a meeting with myself, Mr. Wenner, and my attorney.
Mr. Wenner, Council Wenner, I defer to you on your availability. I have no problem whatsoever meeting with Mrs.
That's fine, Mayor. I'll let Ms.
Okay.
I didn't hear that.
He will put it on his calendar to set up the meeting.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Paulus.
I knew we were going to put on a line.
This question is for the mayor, the CEO of the town, Phillipsburg. Did you know there was an Easter egg hunt put on by the First Youth Center Friday?
No, I did not.
Phillipsburg Youth Center put it on.
Thank you.
Videos all over the internet, and you said you don't know nothing about it. And you asked a question. Here's your answer. It's all over Facebook. Kids running, picking up bags.
It's a wonderful thing, Mr. Field.
It is. All right, the parking ordinance didn't go in effect till, like, in effect from 20 days from the,
It will be in effect as of April 9th. The 20-day period will be over at April 9th.
so the mayor's been collecting money from the New Jersey Transit parking lot when people put money in the kiosk machine.
Currently, although we had asked him not to, I believe that he still is, but that under the current ordinance, it didn't outline in the transit lot that he couldn't collect fees in the ordinance, therefore he's well within his purview. As of April 9th, he will not be able to collect fees. However, just so everyone knows, I have been forwarded an email from the mayor's office that the Department of Transit has one department, I believe it's a supervisor, had emailed the two gentlemen we were in contact with and had asked them to help the mayor out. So the intention seems to be that we will receive something in writing from the Department of Transit that would allow us to collect fees, which would then be permissible as per both the ordinance and the lease agreement.
That is very accurate, Council President. Thank you.
You're welcome, Mayor.
At the last meeting, our councilman Josh Davis voted no to continue to keep Vicky Kleiner for his reasons. And she was basically humiliated during the meeting of what was said. And he never apologized in public. But he apologized to her after the meeting. I don't understand why this guy can't apologize to her in public. Like, even right now. Could you apologize to Ms. Kleiner, Mr. Davis?
So we can, right, so the question would come to me, and if Councilman Davis wishes to answer, he may. Councilman, do you wish to answer?
No, I'm good, thank you, Council President.
You're welcome.
Because you're a coward.
Ooh.
Mr. Feely, please refrain from calling Councilman.
I tried to.
Names. I understand, but I
just get irritated when, you know.
Again, I would just ask to refrain from comment.
Buddy?
Please. Mr. Feely, please. Thank you. It's been a good meeting so far, folks.
Well said.
Is there anyone else? Okay. No motions? We have council open time, so, yes, Vicki. Oh, yes, I do have something here. I was handed this special event application permit this evening it's for the requested venue is Walters Park, and I believe that it's already, the applicant is Sandra. Sandra, you can raise your hand. Did you stick around? All right. Sandra Ekis from the Phillipsburg Area Garden Club, and I do believe that, Mayor, this is already on your desk and has been approved, yes?
Mm-hmm. No, wait, is this for the vegetable garden?
It's the pollination event.
Yes, it is. That's approved. That has been.
So this has been approved?
It has been.
We don't need to do anything then, Vicki?
Well, there'll be a special use permit that will come your way. It's just come up. Yeah.
So we could, right, I'll motion to waive the fee.
There you go.
There you go.
Second.
But I want you all to know, this is scheduled for May 19th, which is a Saturday. It's also Veterans Day, not Veterans Day, it's Military Service Day. And it's going to be at Walters Park, which I'm so grateful to have been granted the usage of that Walters Park from approximately 1 p.m. till 4 p.m. And I'm also grateful we were granted by the Northwest New Jersey Garden Club. They're going to do the presentation of pollination and beehives and all that kind of stuff. I'm just absolutely delighted.
Mike Muckle is leading the charge here, correct? Because he's
There's
doing,
no Mike Muckle.
he's doing the same thing.
Oh, is he
Yeah,
really?
you should knock on the door.
Okay, I'll
Yeah,
make sure I
go
know.
up to knock on the door.
Not the same day.
No, not the same day, but he's got a large, very large pollination project underway.
Oh, that's super.
So you should partner with him. And I'll,
But I would look forward to seeing all of you there. It should be a very entertaining. Thank you.
You're very welcome. We can roll call vote.
Councilman Lutz?
Yes.
Councilman McVeigh?
Yes.
Councilman Davis?
Yes.
Council Vice President DiGirolamo?
Yes.
Council President Holter?
Yes. I won't be in attendance, I'm allergic, but good luck to you. Do I need to keep this at all, Vicki?
I can take it.
Excellent. Okay. And we will move forward with open time, and I will defer to Councilman Lutz.
In work session, can we bring up, talk about an ordinance for all the meters on South Main Street? And I guess it's up to the police chief, he has the key to check the meters to see if they can be changed to 25 cents for 15. And from the Black Bridge to Union Square and events from 8 to 10. See if we can get them going. If not, we're going to have to start getting it. And I'd just like to bring something up. I would like to announce that I am planning to run for mayor for the town of Phillipsburg in the next election. When I am elected, my mission as mayor will be to cultivate a cooperative and productive relationship with the members of council and to develop a viable plan to move Phillipsburg in a positive position for the future without political posturing and bias. Thank you. Thank you. That's it. Yeah.
It was good. Vice President, you're not running too, are you?
Huh?
Or you're not running too, are you?
No.
Okay.
No. So a few things, actually. People have brought up what's been happening. A few things I'll mention because I have passed them along to the mayor's office. He and I met this weekend. One was, this happens to be April is Earth Month, if you're not familiar. So I passed along to him an opportunity. So he assured me we were going to be seeing it in the next couple days, I assume. So if those of you who follow social media, that's the primary platform for nominating. It goes towards one town, one magical town. 15 have already been selected. One is open for a $20,000 park grant. So I've asked the mayor to take the lead on that, look into it, so that is underway. Second, I've also passed along some information regarding an act. So one of the concerns we heard a lot, especially last year, while we were talking to residents, was trash, 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 trash. And frankly, I think I can speak for everybody when I can say I'm sick of seeing everybody sending trash pictures and posting them online. It's an app. People can report in, and it goes to the appropriate department. If it's a police violation, if it's a trash dumping, you can report it all online through an app. It's free to the user. It would cost the town, honestly, it's pretty inexpensive, but he is investigating that with the town employees at this time to see what their input is. So I haven't gotten feedback yet, but that has been a couple weeks, I believe.
It's $3,000 some odd dollars. You can use your iPhone to take a picture of the violation and send it directly to a point person. I was impressed with it so far, so the staff has been impressed with it. We'll probably get a lot of emails.
Yeah, well, what I explained to the mayor was there's a case study on it. It's been adopted in several New Jersey towns. It's called Report It. You can go ahead and look it up in the App Store. So it is publicly available if you want to investigate it for your own information.
It eliminates complaints getting lost between departments, which is great.
And it does allow a tracking mechanism. So if you're wondering the status of the complaint you sent in, you can log right into the app and it'll tell you where it's at and who's taking care of it. Third, I did send Councilman Lutz a fee adjustment document to look over regarding pool fees, park fees, rental fees. Honestly, with the pool gearing up, I think we're kind of probably past that point. So I think maybe 2 work sessions from now, we look at that again. I don't know that we have time to implement it at this time. So 2 quick events. One, I attended the Exchange Club of Warren County. We had hundreds of kids at that Easter egg hunt Saturday. You know, fabulous event. I have to say I was a little disappointed. I remember that egg hunt for years. Bikes, skateboards, happy faces. So these volunteers told me they stuffed 7,000 eggs for that event to throw out for, it is pre-K to 2nd grade. So 7,000 eggs. They start in January stuffing these eggs for this event. They're all volunteers. Sadly, donations were down almost 200%. So what I would ask, and the number I believe they told me was from what's typically $2,500 in donations was only $750 this year. So that's all they had to work with. The kids look forward to that. They're able to accommodate 130 kids with bonus prizes they come down for. So I just ask, this community is very giving. If you're out shopping at Christmas or something and you see something that could be a great little gift for somebody at Easter, think about that as well. I'm sure the Exchange Club would appreciate it. I know I made a personal commitment. I would buy a bike for next year because I just know it's something they always look for.
I donate my salary. You can put me down for donation.
Fabulous. I will let them know. I was also at the State of the Town, so as we're talking about working together, I was the one council member in attendance. So I was there. I took off just to go, and then I explored Corliss Avenue to get a feel for the magnitude of the mold. And I assure you, as bad as you think it is, multiply it by about 300.
Thank you.
It's that bad. That's, you know, I walked out shaking my head. It's bad. Also, for next work session, I will not be there. But I ask if we can revisit that social media policy. We've brought it up several times. I know New Jersey League of Municipalities, I believe, did have their conference.
They did not have that. Wait, it's April, huh?
It is.
They had their conference.
They had their conference.
Yes,
it was in March, so I've been waiting to ask for follow-up. Do we have any feedback from the conference?
Did email the attorney for the New Jersey League of Municipalities asking for a synopsis. I have not received that yet, but I imagine that man is inundated with all kinds of emails. I will look into it further. I'm also very much in favor of the social media policy with regard to municipal employees. Again, understand, especially for, and I believe I had passed this along to Ms. Paulus today, this is for municipal employees. It does not regulate elected officials.
Okay.
Okay. That is the one thing that it doesn't do, and correct me if I'm wrong, council, but when they are elected, they're protected by a certain, I don't know what it's called, because I'm not aware.
Employees in the town.
Correct.
So that's the first thing, and then also the first time.
Right, okay.
Just 2 other things. This came in April 2nd. I don't know if everybody got it or not. First-time home buyers assistance, did everybody get this? Through DCA?
God bless you, thank you. You're welcome.
So this is a home seeker first homeowner program. Sadly, Warren County was not listed as one of the counties, so I made a phone call to them to find out if the money was still there, if we could be added. There's an additional $10 million for first home buyers now available. That came through Trenton, and it was just released on a press release from DCA on the 2nd. So I have made a call for that. Councilman Davis, if I get them to say yes, is that something you'd be willing to?
I'd be glad and willing.
I know you've brought up first home ownership quite a few times, so if you don't mind, if I get that information and we get an application process, I will work with you on that.
Yeah, is this the income test one? I think it's a function of the HUD program.
It is.
Okay.
I only took a screenshot,
Okay.
so I only have this little bit, but we can. Home
And,
seeker program?
Yep, and that's what I was hoping to author at some point in the next few months, is an application to DCA or HUD directly to have a portion of that money given to Phillipsburg for our own credit program.
Fabulous. And one other thing I got just today, I don't know if we all received this or not, but McDonald's, did we all get a McDonald's email today?
Yes.
Archways to Opportunities through McDonald's. They have 150 million, if anyone here happens to work for McDonald's or is interested in applying at McDonald's, there's a $150 million investment through their Archway to Opportunity education program now available. So someone from McDonald's emailed us about that opportunity. It's lengthy, I'm sure you'll see it. It is a press release that you can see on the New York Times and USA Today. That's all I have.
Mayor, did you receive that?
I did not.
I will forward it to you if you wouldn't mind
Please.
sharing that on your Facebook page for your constituents.
I would.
Thank you.
So that's all.
Councilman McVeigh, she took up a lot of your time.
She did a great job.
6 minutes.
Thank you, everyone, for coming. I hope you had a blessed weekend on however you celebrated it. Thank you for Sergeant in the back. Always be safe, you and the whole department. I want to say I'm very proud of my council member, teammate, Mark Woods, on his announcement. Councilman, I told you before when I came down to your house personally after hearing you first time in the council meeting that you are one of my favorite councilmen. You're a man of integrity. Be proud of yourself. Signs. I want to talk about signs.
They're everywhere.
I don't like them. I think there's a lot of them. I understand the premise behind them. The first couple I liked. I even stuck up for as a former PhillipsburgTown Falcon, I wanted PhillipsburgTown team to come in last place on the signage posting, but they finally went up. But there's just a lot of signs. I think it promotes segregation of neighborhood, is what it does. I want to see about 4 or 5 signs that say, welcome to Phillipsburg, Mayor Stephen R. Ellis. I'm cool with that. Mayor, if you remember when you were campaigning, as I was a supporter of yours, and we had an open discussion about, I had some ideas on signs. One of them was to mimic what Wilson does in their powder blue and white reflective. So you'd be in Easton, you know you're in Wilson when you just cross over. And I thought that was really good from a community standpoint. We are a very proud community where we are proud of our garnet. A garnet and a white reflective on our street signs would be not a bad idea. It's something just to think about, to throw out there. We have a lot of them, and my tipping point of this conversation was the beloved green sign at Walters Park is gone. It's replaced with 6 brown sticks. I'm not quite sure what happened. I don't know who made that decision. I love that beautiful Walters Park sign. We talked about Walters Park a few times here tonight. I understand the premise. I don't know who made that decision. I'm just speaking out loud. I just would like to see a little less signs, a little more community bonding, and we're Phillipsburg. We're not this or that or this or that. It's my opinion. That's all I got.
Thank you, Councilman. Councilman Davis.
Just, and I know other members of council have said it, just a thank you to our DPW department for all the hard work they've done for late winter. Appreciate all the plowing and salting that was done, keeping the streets clear. I know it was really hard work and a lot of overtime, so kudos to them. We're also in full swing with the youth track season. If you have anyone else who wants to sign up, we're closing off our sign-ups tomorrow, actually. We'll be glad to have you down. Lots of new, exciting new additions this year. We have some representatives from Made Fitness who are going to be working out with our sprinters, as well as some of the event coaches from the high school to be working on some of the event-specific stuff. So for those who are participating, glad to have you, and if there's anyone else, one more day to come join us. That's it.
Thank you, Councilman. I'd like to echo the sentiment of Councilman McVeigh and say, Councilman Lutz, it's, for those who don't know, Councilman Lutz and his wife Patty are family friends. And he has a nice haircut, right? My mom did that. Just in case she's watching. Good luck to you. You're a man of honor and integrity, and I believe in you.
I will do my best. Thank you.
I'd also, I have a question because I've been seeing emails come in. I should have brought this up during new business, but there was an email that had come in regarding the Walters Park ball field being taken away from the PhillipsburgTown Falcons. There's no truth to that, right, Mayor?
wasn't taken away. I don't believe it was used in the first place, to my knowledge.
Okay.
Again, the superintendent of recreation kept that list, and we're resurrecting it.
If I may, being born and raised here in Phillipsburg and coaching for all of the organizations, the Walters Park field is home to the PhillipsburgTown Falcons with regard to baseball, and the concession stand is their concession stand. I would politely request that you take that request back to the temporary recreation committee and allow the baseball teams that Walters Park has there as their home field. It is with the league. It is registered with the league as being their home field.
I'll check into it. I didn't take it lightly. I did contact our DPW supervisor. As you know, with the 3 nor'easters and the rain and everything we've had, the fields are pure grease. They're pure mud. They're having a hard time getting up the bases, and they're having a hard time moving the soccer goals around without tearing the fields up. So we were waiting for things to dry out. The issue with Walters Park was that, and Speak Up, I know, I see Matt here, we were going to go from majors to minors? Is that?
No, the juniors played on there last year and years past, but Bentley Field was used for majors last year, and in my discretion as a coach for as many years as I've coached, I don't think any team should be playing on that field this year.
Okay, well, I didn't know that, but it was my understanding that the mound had to be moved inward for the minors, and then the infield would have to be sodded. There was work to do, and the DP...
It would just be putting the bases in a different spot, which I believe was pegs for each.
Yes.
I'm not opposed to using any athletic field at all. What I would suggest is if we could get some help, because DPW is behind with the nor'easters and the rain.
I can get volunteers from the organization, no problem.
I would gladly volunteer to help.
There would be no reason to deny it other than the workload that we have. That was the only reason that it was denied. We just couldn't do it. They couldn't do it.
Excellent. So we can commit that the PhillipsburgTown Falcons will be playing their home field this year.
If
God willing.
Give me a list of volunteers that I can round up, or I'll put it in Mike Stires' hands to get them together, and they'll do it.
I will take all the work to help you get those fields done.
If I may, Council President, I just wanted to remark on Council McVeigh's point about the signs.
Sure.
I want to tell the story. I was speaking with, I think, the middle school children, and it was sort of a speech like Mr. Thompson gave. I said, you know, I grew up on the flats, you know, where did you grow up? And they said, I grew up on Purcell Hill. They said, or Purcell Street. I said, well, that's Purcell Hill. And they kind of didn't know where Purcell Hill was. And I asked another young man, I said, where did you grow up? And he said he grew up on Summit Avenue. And I said, that's the hill. And he didn't know where the hill was. And I left there saying we're losing our culture. We're losing our heritage as we become diluted. We've had a lot of migration from the urban centers. They don't know Purcell Hill. They don't know Valley View. Forget about Dishwater Hill. And so that was the reason for the signage, was to maintain that culture and put a sense of place into those areas that we don't forget. It was that simple, but if you think it's sign pollution, you know, it won't go any further, I can guarantee you that. I do see sign pollution all over Phillipsburg. Plastic, cardboard, it drives me crazy. I work with the parks, I hate sign pollution. But when I saw that the younger generation didn't know the hill from Purcell Hill to Valley View, yeah, I was concerned. I thought that they should know. You know, the area Still Hill was after Ingersoll. You know, there's history behind it all. The hill was our first residential area, and it was just an attempt to retain that culture, that heritage, that sense of place.
All done? Okay. Just my point of view, Mayor, is, and I understand everything that you said, I would like to spend more time promoting the fact that we are one solid Phillipsburg. Right. So with that being said, I'd also like to echo the sentiment of Councilman Davis. The DPW did a fantastic job. I believe we have a few members here in attendance this evening. You guys did a bang-up job. And I am extremely proud of the behavior of our colleagues, my colleagues, this council. As you all know, we went through some tumultuous times, and tonight was a new beginning. So I'm just proud to say that I work with each and every single one of you. So thank you. Ladies and gentlemen, thanks for coming out tonight.